Hi guys, good afternoon. You know who I am. I hope everybody's well, and I feel a little better today. And I'm did some housework and cleaning, and I was doing the kitchen floor, and I realized that I'd had a vision this morning. Yes, Rhonda had another vision. Okay, but I remembered it, and it was right before I woke up. It was very short, and had been I've been watching the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, some of it, here and there. I watched enough of it, and I remember when it happened and all that stuff like that. And I remember it was so disturbing. I know everybody felt that way. All the looting and the burning of businesses and people's life's work were going up in flames, and I'm not a fan of BLM and Antifa. Everybody knows that. I obviously not. Why should I be? I mean, that all they do is destroy things and other people's things, and they never even went after. And anyway, so I've been watching the time, and I kept occasionally asking. I said, you know, could to my spirit guides or whoever tells me information, I'm not really sure. It must be some spirit guide or something, or God or whatever. I kept asking about the outcome of the trial, and I read the cards, and they were kind of wishy washy. Sometimes they would be better. Other times it would say he would get off. He would get off on certain things, but they would, there were other things he wouldn't, and then it looked it was not certain, it was uncertain. So I was kind of like, oh God, send me a vision, send me a vision. So I remembered that I had this vision this morning, and I determined that I didn't think it was from Summer, because Summer and Gabby and Brian have been my main two visions. I've had a few political ones in between, but nothing. I think I posted the last political one. And anyway, so I remember I saw against my usual black background in a vision. I saw it was real short, but it was powerful. I saw the number one, and it was a very ornate, fancy one, kind of like in music on a oh, what do they call it? The help me out here. Where you write music down a scroll or a lyric. Oh, no, never mind. It was a fancy one. Excuse me. It was bright white. It was a one, and it curled at the top. And then there were sevens in really fancy font going right after it, and they went like, and they were all going down in like a circle. And if they would have continued, only like the first six would came down. And if they would have continued, they would have followed around to meet the one on the one that they started from. They were going in that direction, and they were bright. The sevens were bright red, and the one was bright white, like a brand new, freshly painted, and the whole scene was positive and like illuminated and like shining, like fresh paint, that kind of look. And I came out of it, and I thought about it when I woke up, and then I forgot, and then I was in the kitchen. I was like, oh my God. I thought that it might be, whatever. Well, so I was thinking about what it could mean, and I've dreamed about numbers before, and words, just plain words on a black background. Like before I was even married, I'd even met my ex-husband. Years I saw the big word divorce in red letters. So I knew before I was even married, and I had another vision about that too, that I was going to get a divorce for my first marriage. At least I knew I'd live through it, you know. Anyway, so and I have to tell you this before about the numbers. And so it was a one, and then sevens, ornate, beautiful, bright sevens going around, and then they started to fade. But I knew if they continued, they would come around to make a circle, complete circle. back to the one. And I had this, I don't know if I've said this before, but my ex-husband and I went to the casino a couple times. We have a casino near here. And we only went a few times. We're not casino buffs or anything. We didn't have the money to do that. But the night before we went to the casino, I dreamed about, or had a vision about, against the black background, uh, the number 371. And we were at the casino, and my ex husband knew, how things were with me, and he said, "Well, okay, well, we'll try the roulette table. You pick the numbers, And we tried, and it didn't work. So I said, I'm going to go to the slots, which I play. I like the slots, and I try to hone in on a slot. I'm not real good at it. My daughter Sarah, she can walk in there and she can come out with, she did this to us. She was always the kid who got the claw machine animals. We'd ask her to get everybody an animal because she just, I mean, it was she's a triple Sagittarius, a quadruple Sagittarius. And she is the luckiest kid. She's found four-leaf clovers that I have seen. I have some pasted in the photo albums in her life. I've never found one. But anyway, so we're in the casino. Sarah wasn't there, but we're about to leave. We said, okay, well, we better get it going. And I remember I dreamed about that number, and I was thinking, that's weird. Did nothing happen. And I said, um, Bill, look, I just want to play one more machine. There was one sitting on the edge, of the aisle. I said, just let me. I had a couple more nickels. It was a nickel machine. So I went to the machine. Excuse me, and I played it. I did the first time, and all of a sudden, all these bells go off and everything like that, and it comes up three sevens, and I'm like, whose machine just went off? And a couple of people come up to me and they said, how much did you win? And I'm like, I won. And I'm like, because I'm not a great casino person, I realized I had won. And all these nickels start like pouring out of the thing, and I'm trying to jam them in the cup. And I see it's three sevens. And suddenly I'm thinking, three sevens, one. And I'm thinking that, and I said, Bell! Across the casino. I'm not shy, and I'll usually yell at Bobby too. I'll say, if he's across the store, I'll yell, Bobby, come over here, or something like that. But I said, Bill, and he came. He said, what? He heard the bells go off. He says, was that you? And he said, oh my God, congratulations. And I counted. It was counted up to be $125 in the nickels. And that was a big win for me. That was years ago, and the vision came true. Three sevens, one. So anyway, with this vision, it was a one and then sevens going down. Sevens are always lucky, and I checked out how many charges. One meant one, and it was different from the sevens. It was in white. The sevens were red, and they curled around, and I only saw about, I guess, 5 or 6 of them, and the rest kind of faded, but I knew they would continue to curl until they met the one again. He has 6 charges, plus the one that was dropped would make 7. So sevens, 1. That's how I take it, because that was real, and those colors were bright and beautiful and shiny, and there was a bright light around them. They were brand new. So I believe that those charges are going to be dropped, because the one was already dropped, but you can't not include it. So that's what I think. The sevens won, and that's my conclusion, that he's going to be acquitted. And that I was waiting for a vision, and tomorrow is also the 17th. I believe the verdict will be announced tomorrow on the 17th, because there was one and then 7, 7, 7, 7, 6 charges, including not, the judge dropped the first one, which would have been 7. So there were 7 charges, but one was dropped, but it was still 7 charges. And then he won. It was just weird. I was like, well, it took you long enough to tell me. I was waiting on the edge of my seat, waiting for something. So anyway, I just thought I'd tell you that I'm going out on a limb here and I'm saying he's going to be acquitted, because I had that vision of the one and then the beautiful candy cane one and then the sevens going around. One fell right on top of the next one. And do you think it'll be announced on the 17th? How anybody want to comment on this when I upload this video? I was going to do messages from Michael today, but I did my housework. I'm going to make my dinner: crab cakes, macaroni and cheese casserole, and green beans or something. And then I'm going to lay down because I feel better. So I want to, get rid of this thing. So anyway, who thinks that's what it meant? If anybody wants to take a gander, I think that's what it meant, that he's going to be acquitted. I know he shouldn't have been there. He shouldn't have been in that town. You shouldn't have put him, but he had a good heart. He meant to do good. He didn't mean to go and shoot anybody. And there was so much, these people were losing their livelihood. They were losing everything they had. And I believe he went with good intent. He didn't mean to shoot anybody. I mean, he didn't. He's a good kid. And this whole, the town was in chaos. It was at war. And the fact that he was brave enough to go out there and try to help. And remember, he was only 17 years old. He wasn't thinking like an adult. He was thinking like, what can I do to help? And the police weren't doing anything because they were told to stand down by the dumb governor. So, when I saw him having an anxiety attack on the stand, I doubt those weren't fake tears. He really was suffering, and he's been suffering, and it would show those people who do these things, who burn down people's lives, their livelihoods, who destroy and think they can take. They never even caught the looters, the hundreds, thousands of looters who stole stuff and destroyed things. The police never caught them because they were told, no, just let them go. Why were they killed people. They destroyed people's businesses, and they make him the martyr. They were coming after him to kill him. And he shouldn't have been there, yeah, but he was extraordinarily brave to do what he did. And it was wartime. It was war zone. So anyway, that's all I have. You don't have to agree with me. I don't want to hear it if you don't agree with me. This is my channel. And so my prediction is he'll be acquitted. And that's what my vision meant. And I finally got it. So it was bright, shiny, new 1 and 7s. And 7s are lucky numbers. And there were about 6 7s, 5 or 6 7s, and they would have continued all around to the 1. So it would have been a complete circle, complete ball, over. So that's my prediction. I'm putting myself out there like I usually do. And I wish you well, and I will talk to you tomorrow night. How many of you think it's going to be announced tomorrow, the verdict? That would be kind of interesting since it was a 1 and a 7, the first numbers. Okay, well, I love you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.